Hi guys, welcome to our August TBR jar. Chooses the books that I read. I'm filming this like first thing in the morning, so I'm a little tired at the moment. I would like to say I'm excited to do this, but I'm actually in a reading slump, so I'm like nervous that this is gonna give me books that like I will not want to read. Okay, usually at the start of these videos I tell you guys what I read from my TBR so far, and I've literally only read one book. Here was my TBR. Like I said, I've been in a bit of a reading slump. Also, I made this shirt. Like, look. I am leaving this book on from last month's TBR because I borrowed this from a friend and I would like to be able to give it back to them. I'm gonna plan to read this probably first thing. We usually choose a lot of prompts, but today we're going to choose 6. If you end up liking this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I make bookish content once or twice a week. Let's pull the first prompt. Is there anything on here that I want? Yes. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. So let us hope that there's a prompt that gives me that. Prompt number 1. Ooh, featuring a sport. Okay, let me actually set this up here because that's gonna be in the here. Featuring a sport. I feel like maybe you could consider The Hunger Games a sport. Not a very good one, but in the same way you could probably consider Red Rising a sport, but like both of those are kind of a trial, so I don't actually think either of these work. I know exactly what I'm gonna do, and I also forgot to mention this, but if I have something that I know I have on my Kindle, then I will choose that, and I'm going to read the next book in the Boys of Tommen series. I've read the first 2. No, I've read the first 3. Redeeming 6? Is that what it's called? Yes, Redeeming 6. I'm going to read next. I actually was thinking about picking that up the other day, and so that's kind of perfect. And even though it's literally like hundreds of pages long, it's like, I don't even know how long that one is, maybe 600 pages. I still feel as if it's good for a reading slump because it's very easy to read and I really care about the characters already, so I think that could be good. All right, perfect. That's making me feel better already, even though I know it's gonna be sad. All right, second prompt. Ooh, a literary or general fiction. Okay. I think this is considered general fiction. Yes, this is a general fiction, one that I've been wanting to get to in the summer, so that's a good option. I honestly feel like that's kind of it. I'm sure I have other things on my Kindle maybe that would work for this prompt, but I think we're gonna choose Sun Damage. This is about these guests who arrive in a luxury hotel, and I think it's supposed to be like almost like a reality TV show. What I envision is it being like White Lotus, but I could be wrong. There's like a lot of secrets, you know, loyalties tested. This one sounds like it could be really, really interesting. And also, I kind of need to get to this before summer ends. I feel like August is that like cutoff. I mean, September you can kind of read some summery books, but I'm probably gonna jump straight into fall when it gets to that time. So this is book number 2. All right. This is going too fast. I forgot that this on its own makes me happy and makes me want to read. So hopefully I'll pick up another book soon. I've only read 2 books in July. Very, very dependent on the individual and what they typically do or don't do. For me, that's not a lot. Okay, prompt number 3, an arc. Okay, so I actually have 2 arcs currently that are going to be published in August, so I'm going to be reading them right around when they come out. I'm in the middle of one. It's Claire Douglas's new book, The Wrong Sister. I am like 25% into that one. I think I'm going to finish before we get to August, at least I am hoping. So the other one, let me look, it's on my Kindle. Okay, it is called The Cover Girl, and I think it's about the modeling industry. It sounds like it's probably quite sad, but for some reason when I'm in a reading slump, sometimes what really helps me is reading like a very sad book. Don't ask me why, I have no idea, but I'm gonna put The Cover Girl on the list. This is actually working out really well for me. Let's choose prompt number 4. Oh, before I get past that, this book apparently was an arc, and I got it at a bookstore that I went to in North Carolina. If you purchased a book, you could get one of their previous arcs because they can't resell them. So I could have technically probably chosen this, but I'm not going to because I don't even know what this book's about. I just grabbed it because I was like, oh, it's free. All right, prompt number 4. Okay, a lot of them came out. All right, this one. A fantasy. We're getting like the most simple prompts that I have ever written, but we know exactly what we're choosing. Emily Wilde. I wanted this one, did I not say that? This is it's a fantasy, but it's a cozy fantasy, and so I'm really excited for this one. It's about Emily Wilde, who I think is a professor, and she is trying to go and research the fairies and put together an encyclopedia. I mean, it's kind of in the title, but it sounds so cute. It is the start of a series, and so if I really enjoy it, maybe I'll end up getting the other books. But before I technically choose this, I also really want to get to Catching Fire. I know Catching Fire is dystopian, but I feel like it's also dystopian's fantasy, right? Nah, I don't know, maybe not. I also definitely need to continue the Throne of Glass series, but that could be a really good fall endeavor. I read the first book, I enjoyed it, and I have the second book, so. But yeah, we're definitely going with Encyclopedia of Fairies. All right, that's 4. We only have 2 more left to pick. I get so sad when I finish filming these because it's just so fun. Let's see what this is. A new release. What would be considered a new release? That's not. None of these are. Okay, so here's the deal. I've been on a book buying ban, so I have no new books. The newest book that I have came out on April 1st, and that is Abby Jimenez's new book, which I have on my Kindle. I could also do a little bit of research really quickly and see if there's any books that are on Kindle Unlimited that are new. I feel like every book is like a contemporary romance or continuation of a series. Okay, I found the newest Frida McFadden book, which is called The Tenant, and it released in May. That's maybe an idea. We've got a book called The Summer That Changed Everything, and it released June 3rd, but I wonder if I can put in publication date that's like my camera turned off from how long I was sitting there looking. I didn't find anything. I'm making a decision to ignore this prompt because I'm not gonna buy any new books. So we're gonna set this one aside. It is gonna go back in the jar once I have finished everything. Let's get this one. This is a long one. Oh, interesting. This one says book involving your childhood dream career. So my childhood dream career was being an actor. I have a library book on hold, which is Nora Goes Off Script, is involving an actor because I think the male main character is an actor. Let me check my library. Give me one quick second, you guys. I need to go get my library card. Okay, I am back. It looks like Nora Goes Off Script has arrived at my library, so I could go pick that up and I could make that my book involving my childhood dream career, but let me check really quickly if there's any other ones. What are the characters in Funny Story? Okay, main character is a children's librarian. That was never something I wanted to do. Maybe Miles? Nope. If only my dream childhood career was being an assassin, I could choose this, but alas, it was definitely not. What? The characters in, nope, pediatric residency. I never wanted to be a doctor of any kind. I think these are about graduating high school, but what are they going to college for? Don't know about that. I really don't think this is about a doctor. Again, not doctor. This main character owns a flower shop? Nope. Yeah. I think Nora Goes Off Script is my best option, so that's nice. I can pick it up from my library and immediately have it on my TBR. That's perfect. Maybe I'll go do that today. Go and get it to make sure I have it. Okay. How do I'm gonna grab one from the bottom. All right, this one. An anticipated read. Okay. I mean, you would hope that all of these would be, but right now I'm not feeling that. So I'm gonna go through them and grab out all the ones that are, and I'll go through those for you guys. All right, here is our stack. These are the books that are currently calling to me, or the ones that I just feel like I will really like. They're anticipated for me. I could also check on my Kindle really quickly just to see if any of those. Obviously Redeeming Six was, but I already did that one. Ooh, A Song to Drown Rivers I think is gonna be really good. I would have said Say You'll Remember Me, but seeing all the bad reviews about it, I just didn't really want to. The X-Vows is pretty high up there. The Nightingale, but I think we already have enough sad stuff, and this book is really thick, so maybe not good for a reading slump. So we're not going to choose that. Love and Other Words has been an anticipated read for a very, very, very long time, and I've gotten to the point where I just feel like I will never read it, but I do want to, but I am going to put it back. Crown of Midnight, it's a high contender. Let's set that to the side. Funny Story, also a high contender. Let's set that to the side. Catching Fire is definitely a high contender. So set that to the side. Divine Rivals, I would love to read. It is also on Kindle Unlimited, so I could read it on my Kindle as well. But I think we have enough like fantasy options, and I think this possibly is a little too similar to Emily Wilde for me to want to read it in the same month, so we're gonna put this one back. Not that it's like actually similar, just the like genre. Anyway, okay, so that means we're down to Crown of Midnight, Funny Story, Catching Fire, and the X-Vows. What we're gonna do is we're gonna look over the other books I have on my list. Okay, so these are the ones that are contenders, setting off to the side. So we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, that's a fantasy. We have Sun Damage, which is a fiction. We have The Kite Runner, which is a sad fiction that I chose separately from all of this. And then we have Redeeming Six, which is a emotional romance. And then we have The Cover Girl, which is an emotional fiction. We're really heavy on the fiction, and I don't think, I mean, I know that Encyclopedia of Fairies has a subplot of romance, but I think it's very, very slow burn. And then Redeeming Six is a romance, but basically we have mainly fiction. So I think any of these honestly would be a great option. I think what's going to help me the most in a reading slump though, even though I would love to read the X-Vows in the summer, I do feel like that could be a good September book though, so maybe I'll read it then. So I'm gonna kick that one off. Crown of Midnight, like I said, I think I might do this in the fall as well, so we're gonna set that to the side, and that leaves us with Funny Story and Catching Fire. I think I might finally do my Hunger Games reading video in August, so I think I'm gonna choose Catching Fire, even though this has been on the TBR so many times and I really do want to read it, but I want to save it because it's the only Emily Henry that I haven't read. So okay, so our final list, we have Sun Damage, we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, we have The Kite Runner, we have Catching Fire, and then we have Redeeming Six and Cover Girl, and Nora goes off script. That is going to be it for today's video. I recently started a new TikTok account, so if you followed me on TikTok, go check that, switch to my new account. Basically, my region was set to Poland, where I used to live, and I wanted it to be in the US, couldn't change it, so I started a new one. And as always, you can also follow me on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Hopefully I get out of this reading slump and I can read some of these books. If there's any of these that you'd really like to see in a video, please comment down below and let me know which ones those are. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.